Over the last couple of episodes, we've talked about pemmican, the ultimate survival food of the 18th and 19th centuries. Today, I'm going to show you one way of cooking with pemmican. Thanks for joining us today on 18th Century Cooking with James Townsend and Son. A great number of people depended on pemmican as their primary food source. Voyageurs, they were the long-haul truckers of their day. They worked long days and their work was treacherous. They didn't have time to gather food from their surroundings. It's clear from period writings that along with their goods, they carried either kegs of salt pork or bags of pemmican. On long journeys, a person might even bury a pack of pemmican to be recovered on the return journey. Soldiers, especially those on the northern frontier, became very familiar with pemmican. By the late 19th century, it was known as the iron ration, a ration that was reserved for consumption when nothing else was available, right before a long march or a battle. Besides eating it raw, a common way of cooking with pemmican was to make it into a soup. It's called Rubaboo. It's very easy to make. Start with a pot of boiling water, then cut your pemmican up into chunks. We're using seed pemmican that we made in our second episode of this series. It contains dried chokeberries, which gives the pemmican just a hint of sweet and tart. If you like, you can add vegetables such as potatoes, carrots, parsnips, onions, or any root vegetables. To thicken this soup, they typically added flour or ship's biscuits. Even some rice would work. I'm using ship's biscuit. Right before I serve this up, I'm going to add in some greens. I've got some spinach here. Maybe you'll find some greens along the way, maybe stinging nettles. For stinging nettles, make sure to watch our other video on making stinging nettle soup. That'd be great for this too. The word Rubaboo over time took on a broader meaning. It meant a sort of a collection, a hodgepodge of all sorts of disparate things. And the reason being is because Rubaboo, the food, is just that. It's your main ingredients plus whatever you had available. If you, depending on the season, whatever vegetable you could get a hold of, that's what you put in. Let's see what our Rubaboo tastes like. I highly recommend this. This is excellent. Our soup did turn out a little thin, but we could obviously make this much thicker by adding more of our ship's biscuit or a little flour or even that rice.